Hi, I'm KT, and this is Simple Living with KT, the place where we talk about the issues facing our lives in a simple and mindful way. Buying a house is a big deal, a big freaking deal. For many Americans, home ownership today seems outside of the realm of possibility. For the ones pursuing it, home ownership is a popular path to generational wealth and is, generally speaking, the largest purchase that many Americans will make in their lives. So whether you know it or not, buying a home and the implications for it are a big freaking deal. My husband and I decided to move forward on the itch in the back of my mind near the end of 2021 to purchase a home. We've talked about owning a home for years, and we wanted to do it the right way, or what we thought the right way was. I used to be very black and white when it came to how I approached finances and what the right way was. But as I learned more, I realized that your priorities, as well as your short-term and long-term plans, will shape what the right way will be for your life. And when it comes to a mortgage, I always used to be against PMI. Before I get too deep into this, let me make sure we all start on the same page. So what is PMI? PMI stands for Private Mortgage Insurance, and it's insurance that you have to pay as the homeowner that protects the lender or the bank for lending you money. This is generally required when you pay less than 20% as a down payment. My young, clearly inexperienced self thought to myself, there is no way I'm ever paying PMI. I'll just take the time to save up a 20% down payment. Some of you who watch this may laugh at young KT because there are plenty of reasons why 20% just may not be at the cards at the time you would like to buy a house. The first that I think of is not having the extra income to save 20%. This can be due to paying rent, that is taking the money you would save when you have a mortgage, or perhaps you may have lower wages that may take you over, let's say, 5 years to save that 20% for your down payment while spending more for rent than what your mortgage would cost in the meantime. This type of scenario may push you into taking advantage of a 3.5% down payment option with an FHA loan, or the 3 to 5% down payment option with a conventional loan if your credit allows it. Or maybe you're like me, we had to move during the aftermath of a pandemic, and the current rent that we're paying is the highest that we've ever paid. And just to share a funny story that puts that highest amount into context, my husband and I went to talk to a sales consultant about a new construction build, and they asked us some general questions on this survey. One of these questions was how much we pay in rent. When we returned the survey, the woman we were speaking to asked us 2 questions. The first is whether we wrote a typo down on that piece of paper, and the second is if we were living in the same city that we're all talking about here. And yes, unfortunately, the answers to both those questions were, yeah, we live here, and yes, that's really how much we pay. So we are motivated in that sense to be able to pay less for a mortgage than what we're paying for in rent. She barely believed us, and I knew we were paying a good amount, but I hope you realize that I'm not just trying to trade in paying the same amount for a mortgage that I'm paying in rent because I don't want to pay someone else's bills. It's really factoring into the money that we're able to save and how we're able to plan for the future. So when I realized just how substantial it was, I had a decision to make. My husband and I had a decision to make. To put that more into perspective, would a $100 to a $150 mortgage insurance premium be better than saving an additional $700 a month? When I saw it like this, the answer was clear for my husband and we were convinced. Paying PMI or rushing into a house are 2 things I don't take lightly, and these were 2 strong ideas I had about PMI that were roadblocks towards pursuing a home before having a 20% down payment. I used to believe that PMI was hundreds of dollars a month and that my interest rate would also be greatly higher as well. I realized I held this belief because I was comparing the PMI of an FHA loan to the mortgage insurance of a conventional loan. Many people will blindly say that if you're putting down less than 20%, that you should use an FHA loan, and I believed it for years. Then I started looking at the numbers myself. I'm going to share with you an actual quote I received comparing an FHA loan and a conventional loan. I even told the individual that I did not want the FHA quote, and it's because of my credit. My husband would be on the mortgage alone. She clearly had her sales hat on a little too tight and really tried to sell the FHA loan that we'd be so surprised at the cost of the mortgage with the FHA loan. When the numbers came back, it was a significant difference. Those quotes, as well as the actual quote my husband and I went with, really set in stone that what I thought about PMI was not quite right, and I've learned a lot since. Like, for example, I also had this belief that you have to go with an FHA loan if you want a low down payment. If you can't tell, I do give FHA loans a hard time, and it has nothing to do with the actual product, but rather with the salespeople like mortgage lenders, sales consultants, and sometimes realtors that seem like they push the FHA option. With the low down payment, higher debt to income ratio, and low credit scores required for FHA loans, it's easier to get approved. And I get it. If my job was based on getting people approved for a mortgage, I might try to reach for the path of least resistance, and that many times looks like an FHA loan. With all the advertisements and attention that FHA loans get, I thought they were the best option for a low down payment, and that is only part of the stories. Many lenders offer a conventional loan option with 3% down for first-time home buyers. The catch, if you will, if that's what we want to call it, is that you generally do need to have a better credit score and lower debt to income ratio for an FHA loan, but specifically for that 3% down, you do have to be a first-time home buyer. My husband has owned a home in the past 3 years, so we don't qualify for that option. However, we can swing a slightly larger down payment that reaches their 5% down threshold for a conventional loan, and we have no debts and his credit is just fine, so that option fit for us. We will be paying mortgage insurance, but once again, a reasonable interest rate, a lower mortgage than what we're paying in rent, that's hundreds of dollars less than what we're paying in rent. That will cost us $100 a month for mortgage insurance. Yeah, we'll take it. I share this very real example with you because I know how it feels to want to do the right thing and not be taking shortcuts in your life, then realize that what you're trying to reach towards isn't right for your particular situation. And you're making it harder on yourself when buying a house is already a big freaking deal with a lot to learn, and you don't need to make it harder. And that's what I wanted to share with you today, and thank you so much for watching. You should check out my free 5-day Mind and Money series in the description below. It's a series of posts and videos that will be delivered to your email daily to help you get your mindset in line with your money goals. Whether that be saving up for a big purchase like a house or paying off debt, getting your mind fueled up to reach those goals will be a game changer. Thanks again for watching, and as always, remember to make the decisions that support the life you want. Bye for now.